working together, fucking, maybe opposite of other people's fucking general interest to fix like shit in different parts of the country. It's not going to
Right.
be one fucking person.
Right.
Right.
This is a
That's
what if,
what
right?
bugs me about like that's what really bugs me about fucking presidential candidates. Like, oh, especially Americans, you think like one fucking person's gonna fix everything.
Yeah.
Bullshit, dude.
Well, it's a
Every
cop
fucking
out.
part of the country's got
It's
a
a
different.
cop out, and that's
Yeah.
part of the problem. That's why people always fall prey to the free shit, the proverbial Obama phone. And but Crispy, what was your point? Because you were trying to
Okay.
say like
Okay.
hypothetically, correct? This is hypothetical.
Right,
Perfect,
so-
perfect candidate.
Yeah. Okay. So they get elected, right? Anything that they do to try to get anything fixed will get nixed by either the Republicans or the Democrats down in the lower when the bills try to get, they just get nixed. Everything gets nixed, and we won't get anywhere ever, no matter what.
Well,
And
if
it's
you
been
if you
like that
think
for a
like
really-
if you think like a nihilistic pain in the ass, like you just kind of represented yourself there, then yeah, nothing will ever happen. But you have to remember that as corrupt and fucked up as the system is, sooner or later those Republicans or Democrats, the people in the Congress, the people in the federal level and the state level, still answer to the people they're representing. And the more general, the more general the awakening gets, they do, to a certain point. And obviously, the voting system can be manipulated. We've seen evidence of it. Oh, I mean, as long as voting's been around, even recently with the electronic systems, still the people have been getting louder. And I say the people generally, but there's been a certain demographic that has been, expressing themselves louder. You get it more in the independent media and talk shows and things like that. But they are more popular than they ever have been before, and that's kind of proof in and of itself that there are more people who are just willing to ask certain questions that haven't been popular before. Like, holy hell, is central planning really, fucking up this bad? And wait, we thought central planning was bad. Wasn't that communist? Wait, what the fuck's going on? Like, people are starting to reel, and they get panicked. And some people go one way, some go the other. But there are more people who are reasonably trying to approach this. But like Gaddafi said, it's not just going to be one guy.
Still.
Well, that's a
No matter what.
That's a nihilist point of view, and
In
it's
the
very
next 100
fatalistic.
Years, in the next 100 years, we'll probably be 2 inches, 2 inches more progressed towards fixing anything.
No, you know what? I'd say to that dude, if you would have told people like 5 years ago the state of the Middle East right now would have been if you would have told people 15 years ago that Saddam Hussein would be hung after the invasion of Iraq and Colonel Gaddafi would have been fucking raped and then shot and then NATO fucking basically taken over his country and Syria would have been in a civil war, people would have said you were insane, dude. And that was only like over the last 10 or 15 years.
If you would have
In
said
100
that,
years, God knows.
yeah. If you would have said Gaddafi will be the only thing holding back millions of migrants moving into the European Union,
from the shores of Europe.
yeah, and he would have been the outspoken guardian of the southern European shores, people have been like, oh, fuck off. Like, yeah, right. If you would have told people 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that the people in Britain were going to get so fed up and pissed off with the corrupt, meaningless, useless bullshit of the European Union that they were going to have a referendum and vote and successfully leave, people would have looked at you like you needed to be
You're nuts.
committed. Yeah. And look,
You're insane.
It happened. It happened, and the world still doesn't get it. The world still doesn't. They're all trying to tell us that the people in Britain are stupid. Like, that must be the only answer. We don't understand this, so they're stupid. It's no. You finally have an entire population, one that we actually ran from because we were sick of their bullshit. They finally got sick.
I got a question.
What's the question? Sorry, I was rambling.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say the next president, whoever that will be, let's say that goes ideally, where will we be when those terms are over? Let's say they get elected twice, all right? Where will where will we be at the end of those terms?
I
All right, no, you'd have to say who gets elected because you're saying 2 terms. That's looking way too far
well, I
ahead,
think
dude.
you're saying the ideal candidate. Like in an ideal
Right.
world with the ideal candidate. Well, in 48 years, I mean, I
Ron Paul?
it's no, even he's too isolationist. Like he has great ideas. I don't know if I want him at the helm.
Wait, what? How many years did you just say?
4 to 8.
2 terms. If a perfect candidate, 2 terms, yeah,
Yeah.
8 years.
1 term would be 4. 2 terms
In
would
eight
be 8.
years.
Yeah, so in 8 years, I mean, I've never seen, read about, heard of. I have no knowledge of perfect conditions like this. So I
Right.
to assume that I could come up with some sort of accurate estimate is pretty out there. But I would hope that at the
It's
very least,
impossible.
in 8 years, at the very least, healthcare could be reformed so that insurance was on a more localized level, and it had nothing to do with the federal government. I would hope that the education system would go back to a more localized way of governance and not be involved with the federal government. I would hope that corporate tax would be drastically reduced. I would hope that personal income tax would be tremendously reduced. I'm talking like
If not eliminated.
maybe like
Oh,
1 or 2%, maybe 1 or 2%.
I have another question.
Okay.
Okay, so out of your whole income, I don't really care what it is, but how many how much money do you think comes out of it in taxes each year?
Oh, each year? I believe even after I get whatever tax return I get, because normally I get at least a little, I'm probably still
you
paying.
believe?
I'm
Because
paying
you should probably
about
know this, though.
18%. I'm paying about 18% on my total income in taxes right now, and that's with
Alright.
some of the credits I'm getting as a graduate student.
Now, if you had several $1,000,000 and you were losing 18% of that, would you be
But
more
you're
or
not.
less upset?
You're not. You're losing way more than that. You're losing shit like 30%.
Right. Because the more you have, the more you give.
Yeah, because that's how you incentivize people to,
Tax
succeed.
brackets.
Right, no. That's how you incentivize people to stay under success, to stay just
Yeah.
shy of it. That's fucking retarded, is what that is. It's
Well,
fucking, it is
now-
retarded. It's not even
retarded,
stupid.
It's retarded, but some people, like, it actually makes sense to stay under tax brackets because they actually make more than if they get
Yeah.
in. Like, if they only made like $5,000 more a year, they'd lose, whatever fucking tax breaks they get in
Right.
that tax bracket. So that I'm gonna stay lower. I don't want to fucking. I mean, that's central planning 101, like right there too.
Yeah,
Alright,
incentivize
so-
people to stay in the working class and then alienate the bourgeoisie.
Now, I agree with the fact that that high of a fucking, you shouldn't lose that much money from taxes. But the things that are completely autistic and retarded that tax money's going towards, if we took those out and focused tax money on, like, actually fucking important stuff, then if the tax rates were lower and they're focusing on actually important things, that would be fucking good. Yeah? That would
Yeah,
be
just
good.
I still don't
putting the
believe
money
in the
back in
different tax brackets, because the thing is that if everybody's paying 2%, the people who make more money are still paying more because they have more money. So either way, more it's just a myth. They're already paying more because they have more money. Even if it's all at the same percentage, they're still paying more. Like, if anything,
And if you have
So-
a shit ton of money, you find some friends and some really, really good lawyers. I'm talking about like fucking, I'm talking fucking gold star, dude. We're talking fucking top shelf lawyers, dude. They can fucking get you to almost pay nothing in taxes then.
Well,
And
you
that
don't
just
think
goes
that
to
if you have a shitload of money, it well, yeah. I mean, if you're losing
money
more
buys
money,
you power and influence. Like if you have a few $1 billion or more than that, and a bunch of fucking friends in Congress and the Senate and fucking in high places, I mean, you could probably get to the point where you're really not going to be paying anything.
But that's why
so
government needs to be minimized, because that is why things are so expensive. Because government is so power, it is literally a duty of corporate CEOs to buy politicians when they get the opportunity. I'm telling you, it is a defensible duty in court. They can be sued if they had an opportunity to pay off a politician, to take a politician to dinner and get certain kickbacks from the politician that would help their company. If they don't do that, they could be sued. They could be fucking sued because the government is so powerful right now that it is your duty, because it's the best in the best interest of your company, to gain their favor. That's how powerful the company, the fucking politicians are. It's almost like the old school aristocracy. You know, you have to buy your way into this, or win your way into some lord's favor to get the additional benefits. And if you made government less powerful, just in general, the incentive would disappear. The corruption would no longer be incentivized.
hey, don't you think? Okay. So wait. If it wasn't a percentage set for like what should the balance be in taxes between lower and upper class?
What do you mean the balance? I think it should be the same.
It should be the same. And what number of how much money would that be?
Like 2%.
2%.
As I said, between 1 and 2%. I don't think it should ever
Right.
be more than 2%.
Right. So, say it was 2%. Now, if we keep the same services that we have right now, that wouldn't work. We would just go more, further into debt. But if we took out the shit, like, what's the most pointless service that the government gives?
There's a shit ton, dude. Like, there's some that we don't even know about that are out there that, like, even other people don't even know about. Like, that it's their job to monitor. They don't even know about
Toenail.
yet.
Toenail care.
I mean, just
Fucking
Toenail
clipping
fungus
care.
research or some
Just-
shit like that. God
just
only
look
knows,
down
dude.
look down the list on the Treasury document, and essentially what you may come to realize, I won't presume that you'll see it, but we are subsidizing mistakes. We're subsidizing mistakes. That has
Well,
to stop.
I don't know, because I don't have to fucking pay money because I'm not an adult and I haven't experienced any of the things that you guys are experiencing.
But it's good you're learning about them now, dude.
Yeah,
Because when
and
you
it's
do,
very-
you'll be better versed in them, and you'll oh
Well-
wait, why am I paying for this, or why am I paying for that, or wait,
What
how come I
class
have to pay
bracket-
this much? And
What class bracket would you put either of you guys in? Put yourselves in.
I mean, I already told you essentially what bracket I'm in at my percentage. Granted,
It's
I have some school credits, but not much.
That sounds like it would be lower class.
I'm a working graduate student, so right now I make about
Yeah.
30 grand a year
Holy
on
shit.
part-time
okay,
work.
So lower.
So
Fuck yeah.
so 30
Okay.
grand a year on
Alright.
You're trying
part-time
to-
work. I'm lower class, so
I think
he's just a
this
trolling
is the part
asshole.
where Crispy starts calling you. This is the part where Crispy starts calling you trash.
No, I'm not. Fucking Gopnik. Okay, how about you, Colonel?
I'm probably in the same like middle America,
Right. So.
shrinking.
Yeah.
Okay. So, don't you think you guys' opinions would be greatly different than people in the upper class, or even the
And
upper middle?
greatly different,
Oh.
greatly different in the lower class.
Yeah, what you think
Yeah.
you think people
But-
in the upper
but-
class would want to pay more? Like you think, is that what you're saying? Like, are you presuming to speak for them, or are you just asking in general?
No, I'm asking in general. Don't you think that there would be a difference in opinions?
Slight, but I'm also speaking as somebody who's invested heavily in his own future, because I would like to be in a higher tax bracket, as it were, someday. And
Why'd you
I
start your own
do.
business?
I'm it's hard to do that when you're in law school because
Regulation
they don't really
and like
give you the ability to. So I've already taken out some hefty loans to go to law school, and they have made me sign a contract. I couldn't go to law school unless I signed a contract that
Why'd you go
dictates
to law
how
school,
much
though?
I can work because I want to have that ability to represent in court. I want to have that into the legal world. I won't just have the
because you wanted
knowledge.
to do it. For anything else, you just wanted to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
plus
so
why
Why
not?
don't you start your own business though?
I'm going to. That's like one of the reasons I'm going to law school is that I can open my own firm. I'm going to be I'm going to be adding on a branch to an already existing firm with a buddy of mine. One of the reasons I've been looking into YouTube and looking into games is because I'd like to represent people like that. And I mean, depending on what my wife wants to do here soon, she's going to be opening a small business, and we're also helping another buddy of mine run his concealed weapons permit classes, and we're going to be starting a personal defense business here in the next 3 to 4 years. So I will be starting my own
So you're-
businesses.
Businesses all at the same time or staggered?
Hopefully, I mean staggered,
I
but
would,
then
I would hope
concurrent.
staggered. Yeah.
Staggered and then concurrent. They will be existing on the same linear timeline. I mean, at the same time.
Now, let's say you tried to start your small business and it fails horribly and bankrupt Mike.
Okay.
What would you do then?
I would like to figure out what the fuck I did wrong so that I didn't repeat that same mistake in my other business ventures. But if you fuck up, that's on you. I don't want somebody to pay for my mistake.
Right,
Exactly.
Right, so,
If you and before
let's
you
say
do
lose
it,
your house.
I'll bet you anything ad hoc is smart enough, and hear me out on this, that okay, starting your own business venture, I'm gonna have something saved up in case shit goes wrong. I can fall back on something. That's what any fucking smart individual does. Like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take a pretty big risk doing this, and if it fails, they're looking in the future, thinking, oh, okay, if I fail, God forbid it does, I can always fall back on this and try again.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
That's like like people who go in the restaurant business. It's the same thing. It's like 90% of like what the failure rate is for restaurants.
Oh, it's like
Very-
80,
like the first-
80
high.
some odd percent.
Yeah, in the first I think it's 6 months or a year, and everyone and their fucking mother wants to open a restaurant. Try doing the same thing. A lot of people file for fucking bankruptcy doing that, or for Chapter 11, if they're lucky
Right.
enough to find the. Just saying,
So-
that's a.
How expensive do you think it is to open a law firm of your own?
It depends on the size of the law firm, and there's especially nowadays with certain technology, you can keep a pretty low overhead firm. You don't even have to have an office. So essentially, you could just be paying utilities on your law firm. The most expensive thing would be having to pay to take the
Your
bar.
time.
Yeah, and then your time.
What kind of law firm is this going to be? Yeah, well, yeah. What's your target? What do you fucking do in law for?
Well, the branch or division I will be helping to create will be business oriented and entrepreneurial, but I would like to help represent in somewhat of a general sense veterans, mainly with their healthcare benefits as well as making sure at least they're getting what they contractually were obligated to get, as well as trying to keep them out of legal trouble around here, trying to help start businesses to give them jobs and maybe start their own businesses, but that will be taken care of by the law firm I'll be working for. And other than that, the defense business, we'd honestly like to teach, among other things, active shooter situations, and we have some other people who are interested in it. And then there's a survival school as well. I have to wait for my buddy. He signed another contract with the Air Force, so I have to wait for that to be up, which will be about, I think, just about 3 years now, maybe a little more. But then when he's done with that, we'll be starting that.
Active
he's-
shooter situations.
Yes.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I mean, how to fucking defend yourself and not just die in an active shooter situation.
What do you think about schools? Because we're all kids and we don't have guns.
We would like to teach at schools. I mean, they have these bullshit drills where they have people pile into corners. Why the fuck shouldn't
Right.
a private business offer something better?
Right. So there
Or
should
at
be
least
a
teach the
PMC.
teachers. Or at least teach the teachers. You know, we don't have to teach the students, but have, you know, a couple courses to offer for teachers of college, high school, and elementary school. I mean,
Now, are
that is
these
something that's
teachers going to be
being
armed?
discussed. That depends on state law.
Jesus
That
Christ.
depends. There's nothing we can do about that. The training will
I
center
just
on whatever their localized ordinances are. If they can carry, they can carry. If they can't, which is likely the case, then the training would center around that.
Right. Right. So, is this off topic or is this still in relation to the law firm? I really hope this is off topic. Like,
Oh, it's a
hard, I
separate.
hope
What do you
this
mean,
is
like
off topic.
separate entity? Yeah, it's separate entity. A law firm cannot also
Alright.
be a a personal or self-defense teaching in it. Yeah, no, different, completely separate.
Right. Okay. So, if you had to give a rough estimate, which is probably very hard to do now, how much do you think it would cost to, after everything that you have to do to open up the law firm, how much money in total do you think it would take to get this up and running? And this is without hiring anyone.
What is this?
But
The
you
law
can't put a
firm,
price on
or
somebody's time, though.
Right.
Are you talking
like
about
the
just the
hours
law
it
firm?
takes
Like
and-
what cost are you referring to?
Okay. So, startup, in general, startup,
Startup of
the law firm.
the law firm? Again, it would depend. Like, it's quite likely that I'm really not going to buy office space. It'll depend on where I'm living at the time, and hopefully, Katie and I will have bought a house by that point, so there should be some office space there. Other than that, it would just be utilities. There wouldn't really be. I mean, I would have to, file. So we're looking at maybe a couple $1,000s in filing fees. So not much. Startup would be maybe a couple thousand.
All right.
And a lot of
Now-
work. That's the real expense.
Yeah.
As Gaddafi
Yeah,
was
hell yeah,
indicating.
dude. Now, who's gonna be working in and at this law firm? I guess not at, so in the law firm.
Probably just me, unless I get any sort of heavy amount of work, in which case I might either find a partner to work with or hire a paralegal. But that would completely depend on the workload. Otherwise, I'm willing to do a lot of the work myself. I enjoy the research and the writing, so I don't really feel like farming out that sort of stuff.
Right. So, you'll be a single or possibly double person law firm.
Yeah,
Working
I mean,
from,
unless things get
working
crazy.
from a house with no office. So, what I hear now as someone looking for a law firm, two people, partners working out of a house or two houses sounds unfavorable.
Okay.
So how
I
are
don't
you gonna
understand the.
how are you gonna draw in customers? Or
You're assuming
clients.
that you're assuming I want everybody to come to me. You're assuming I'm
No.
trying to draw in everybody. So
No,
I'm not
not-
really, especially if I'm getting outwardly judged by the sort of business I'm running. The idea is not necessarily to just run everything from a centralized location, being my house. The idea is to go where I'm needed, especially considering some of my potential clients, which might necessarily not be around here,
Yeah.
or they may need to, they may need me
And
to
these are
go where they
veterans, right?
are. Ideally, that would be a lot of the people I'm working with, but I'm not being exclusive. But I would
These
like
are
to.
veterans, right?
Didn't I just answer?
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So, yeah. Right. So, you're planning to work at a law firm before you start this one?
Yes, that should be my first job when I graduate. All things going according to the current plan, I'll get hired on there, and then depending on how that goes and what the workload is there, I will set up my own side office unless there is a want or desire to incorporate that into the firm as well. But that would have to wait and see how things go.
So, are you going to seek out veterans to help?
You don't really have to do much seeking. There are already organizations around here that I've worked with and speak to, local veteran assist organizations that essentially already have all the needed information and are already working with these people. I could just step in and provide more services and more assistance.
Yes, and if you get to one of these establishments and you help someone, you know, if you piss someone off, uh, 200 people hear about it, and if you make someone happy, 10 people hear about it. Have you heard that before?
Dude, you recording this?
No.
Something to that effect.
Fuck no.
What?
It sounds like Crispy's recording this, dude. Are you grandstanding or what?
What's grandstanding?
What you're doing right now?
Making grandiose statements for not necessarily self-gratification, but that's normally the case. But to look good.
So basically, you're saying that I'm speaking intelligently, so I must be recording.
No.
No, I was just wondering if you were or not.
That was completely.
So if
that was a dodge statement.
If I had been, then dodge of what?
The intelligence wasn't implicated. The grandiose was used, grandstanding was used. I believe self-gratification was used. You brought in intelligence.
Self-gratifying what? Self-gratifying what?
Well, I believe the implication of grandstanding is to make yourself look good or feel better in
For
the
who?
light. For
myself.
The person's, that would be the implication. Yeah, I was trying to. You asked what it was, and I'm explaining.
I was just fucking with you, Crispy, dude. Don't fucking read into that, dude.
All right, so say I did record it. What would I do with this recording? Like fucking watch it at night and jack off to it? Just hear myself talk?
That's actually what I was thinking, dude. Believe it or not, dude. Wallah, dude.
Or what? What?
I'm
gonna
thought you were gonna.
find you and fucking kill you, you fucking motherfucker.
Ah,
I seriously.
that's what he'll use
really
it for
thought,
then.
No, I thought you really would fucking save it, and late at night, dude, you'd start playing it back and just start jacking to it.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
yeah.
Shit, where was I? I fucking forgot where I was. Where was I speaking? I was trying to speak cinematically too hard. I fucking forgot where I was, dude. What was I saying? Shit.
Now let's
Okay,
see
yeah.
if you can remember.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Okay, so if you fucking help one person in those places, everyone else will hear from that guy, and will try to come to you for business.
As long as I do good work.
Right. And how long do you think this whole thing will take? From the time that you start it to the time that you get your first client?
Time from start to first client. I don't think it would take more than a month, and I think it would probably take less than that, considering.
You don't think it would take more than a month to start a small business and get one client? You don't think it would take more than 1 month?
To start a law firm and get my first client, which I may even have before the law firm is started, so keep that in mind. No, I don't think it would take more than 1 month.
Okay.
Obviously, you know so much about it, having started your own law firm, gone to law school, Maybe I'm just missing some sort of added bounty of knowledge in this area that you have.
What?
You, Mr.
Are you-
Snickerdoodle over there, who apparently
Dude,
thinks
I
a
fucking
month
hate Snickerdoodle.
is an insignificant amount of time to start a business. Most filings don't take more than a week or two unless you're trying to get some sort of crazy clearance. So I'm not exactly certain what I'm missing on your end here.
I don't know. What are you? I mean, you're right. You're
right
correct
about what?
about everything. In relation in relation to no wait right about
Okay,
everything
okay.
in relation to the law firm that you're gonna be starting.
And I might be wrong. Again, that was just a projection, and projections are far from always right.
And just saying that is being humble, and humbleness will also take you very far away in life.
That's the idea. It also keeps you from like tripping over yourself. Okay, you gotta keep that in mind.
I mean, I'm a fucking type of cookie, dude. I don't have legs.
What the fuck is that supposed to be?
I'm a fucking snickerdoodle, dude. Apparently.
That was in
What is a
reference. That was
snickerdoodle
in reference to your
It's
snickering.
this fucking dank ass. It's this dank ass fucking cookie, and I wasn't snickering. Do you know what snickering is?
That's like laughing.
Right. Yeah, I was never laughing. I
But
was
no, a
actually
snickerdoodle.
about
Right,
to
so
cry.
But you said you guys keep talking about snickerdoodles. I know what a snicker is. What the fuck is a snickerdoodle?
It's just
I
just a
said-
type of cookie.
Yeah, I just said snickerdoodle because he was snickering. So I was calling him the cookie.
Like a cookie.
But
Like
I
what
wasn't
type of cookie?
snickering. I was
Like
about
it's
to cry
what?
because I
Like this
fucking
the cook-
tore my muscles in my arms.
I'm pretty sure it's like a shit. Ginger
There's like a
cookie.
No,
taste
it's
of the
like a
cookie.
ginger
ass,
snap
dude.
kind of. Or
Yeah,
actually,
it's like
wait.
this. Yeah, it's fucking awful, dude.
I could be wrong.
It's bad. No,
Well,
okay.
so is your Snicker. It was awful and bad, like the cookie.
I wasn't laughing, cunt. I was about to cry. I have fucking tears in. I have tears in my eyes right now.
How'd you tear the
Look.
muscle in your arm, dude?
Okay. So I was fucking gonna lift weights, alright, and I just was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna.
You
go
went
for
all in,
forwards.
dude, like a
Yeah.
retard. Of
Yeah,
course.
yes.
Like,
yes,
oh,
I
I'm
did.
gonna grab the 100 pounds, dude, and fucking work my biceps. And was that it?
Well, yeah. No, yeah. It's fucked. It's not good. This is bad.
Patience, grasshopper, dude. Fucking
yeah,
and self-restraint.
things
You
come-
fucking retard.
Good things come to those who wait. Arma.
You learn the hard way, dude. You just learn the hard way.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm growing up out
I mean,
here
that's an
on the
effective
fucking
way to
street,
learn.
representing those little boys, straight out Maryland, mate.
Right.
What?
Real talk.
Dude, fucking Keemstar's a faggot, dude. He sucks.
So did that stuff ever finish downloading? Or did it just not work?
What? Oh, I don't know. Like, shit, I don't know. I got lost in fucking politics, dude. And I don't understand any of it, dude. And I don't care either.
Yeah, well,
I
that's...
think you do.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
just,
because I
it'll
don't
take
have to.
time to process.
He doesn't want to care. That it comes with a lot of... All those discussions we are having, to care about them comes along with a lot of responsibility. And you don't want that when you're his age.
When you were 15, were you worrying about how fucking taxes? Were you worrying about taxes when you were 15? Because if you were, Derek, are you how much taxes do you think you're gonna pay when you're 20? How much? Wait, what? What's your plan? You don't have a fucking plan, you idiot. Fuck you, dude. You're gonna end up on the street, you dumb cunt. Dude,
You
find out
only
right now.
pay taxes if you're working. So unless you have a job at 15, you're not going to be paying taxes. But at,
I mean,
at
technically,
14,
I guess-
at 14, I was thinking about, the concept of taxation and forming my ideas on it. I hadn't had
Wait,
my own
so
income taxed yet, but by the time I was 16 and I'd had my first job that was not under the table, I saw what was coming out of my paycheck. I looked up the percentages, and I started wondering why the brackets were the way they were. And at first, it seemed fair to me that people who made more money paid more. But then I really got to thinking about it because I realized, like we were talking about earlier, if I made up to a certain point, why should I make more? Why should I make more?
Are you religious?
Am I what?
Are you religious?
I do not practice a popular religion. I have my own thoughts on religion, and I don't dismiss the possibility of things. I just don't presume to understand or place a label on anything. So I don't know what to call it.
No? Yeah, no. That sounds like no. That sounds like no.
Well, to say no would imply that, I don't believe in God, or I don't believe there are things that I don't understand. I just don't subscribe to Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hindu, Shinto. I don't presume to understand, so I don't presume to subscribe to people who do presume to understand.
Right. Okay. So, hang on, wait.
That being said, I've read the Bible cover to cover, spent years in Christian schools, have a Quran, I've read a lot of that. I've read a lot of Hindu, what is it called?
Why?
I can't believe I'm blanking on it. Why?
Wait, but why?
Because I wanted to understand. I wanted to understand why I didn't agree and why these people thought the way they did. And I was in Christian schools because my parents put me there. They thought they were good schools, but I was constantly...
Wait, what denomination? Sorry, I just jumped in.
Some of them different denominations. So I went to one that was Baptist, more or less. One that was was predominantly evangelical.
No cat? Any cat? Oh God, evangelical. It's
the evangelical was almost like Catholic in the way they went about it, but it wasn't quite. No, my wife's family is Catholic to some degree. Some people are more devout than others. Her parents, they go to church for the big events like Easter and Christmas and stuff like that.
Evangelical scares me like more than Catholicism does.
Oh yeah. I mean, Catholicism's just been around for a while. They were like that old boyfriend that you had to depend on. We needed him quite a bit back in the day. Yeah.
You've experienced in your life specifically a boyfriend that you heavily depend on ad hoc. You have experienced this.
The proverbial.
Faggot.
Oh yeah. Wait.
Hey,
okay.
Way
to interject homosexuality into it, and then follow it up with a swift faggot. You piece of shit.
I wanted to know, dude. Crispy. I'm guessing you're fucking. What? I never knew, dude. You're raised Methodist or what? Methodist, dude. I'm guessing Methodist, dude.
No,
up.
Dude. I'm with the Westboro Baptist Church.
No, dude. No, for serious, dude. For serious, serially. Like, do you ever go to? Do you go to churches?
Sometimes.
But like, what's the